Okay, everyone, this is episode 70 of the Align with Anna podcast. And I have one of my very, very best friends, Arion, here. And girl, I can't believe this is our first episode, but this is the
Yes.
time. So let me tell everybody how we met. We met in 2019. And we met because Arion found me on the internet. She found me on Instagram and she found my declutter challenge. I had this challenge in a workbook to help you really simplify and hone in on your greatness. Arion is so beautiful because she loves to organize. So I like people who like to organize. I like people who like personal development. And so I was there working on my shit. She comes in and she was like, Anna? Are you Anna? Are you aligned with Anna? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, I'm doing your workbook right now. And she printed it out and she was like, look. And I was like, oh my God, can I see this? And then I was just like, damn, when you feel like your work is really resonating with people, it was divine. And we hit it off from there. And we are very close friends now. We do family shit, we do work things, we set intentions regularly. It's an honor to have you, girl. Thank you so much for being
Oh,
here.
thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, full circle. So, from listening to your podcast to actually becoming friends and just being on the podcast now. So, happy to be here.
Oh my gosh. Well, will you introduce yourself? Tell us about you.
Yeah, so my name is Arion Castillo. I am an industrial organizational psychologist by trade. All of those words mean I am the person that makes sure the organizations are running efficiently and that employees are plugged in and working jobs and careers that make them happy. So I consider myself to be a career and productivity specialist, aligning people with jobs that light them up and making sure that organizations are running efficiently and that people are actually happy in the jobs that they're doing. So, pretty much what I do in a nutshell.
Beautiful girl. I love this. I love this. Okay, the first question that's coming to mind is when did you realize that organization is important to you?
Yeah, so I started off actually my work career as a CNA, a certified nurse's assistant. I thought I wanted to go to nursing school, but working bedside and kind of seeing some of the downsides of patient care, healthcare, and things like that, I shifted to want to be in more of the organizational piece of healthcare, working in the background with making sure that people were doing their jobs correctly or that the units had what they need supply wise. And so I shifted over from CNA to an office coordinator when I was working at Orange Jewish Hospital. And so I started there with kind of organizing things, making sure that files were in order and just calendars. So calendars were so important for scheduling the nurses and making sure that we were staffed properly and all those things. So I found that healthcare or good healthcare goes way beyond just bedside care, but it actually goes into the organization or the people that are managing the hospitals or the nursing homes and things like that. From there, falling in love with processes and things like that, and then kind of dived into HR with making sure we had the right people on the floor taking care of the clients or patients. Just kind of spiraled from there, and here I am.
Here you are,
Yeah,
shining, literally the backbone for so many folks.
yeah.
So many folks. I've heard such beautiful testimonies about how you are the rock. You're the one that helps and encourages people to have boundaries.
Yes, that is huge. So we can definitely dive into that because boundaries are needed in the workplace, whether you're running your business or if you're an employee, and what that means to make sure that you're straightforward with your employer and you've got open communication and all those things. Boundaries extends beyond personal care and relationships with our friends, but in every relationship that we have here in this life. So yeah.
Yes, aligning work and personal, the
Yes.
home.
Yeah, because we have to be in both places, right? All of us wish that we were millionaires and didn't have to work. But the reality is we have to make money until we get there. So, how do we do that with having peace and happiness at the same time? That's what I'm here to kind of guide and direct people toward. Yeah.
Peace and happiness.
Yeah. We want it all, right?
We want it all, and we deserve it all.
Yes, yes. Why can't we have it? It's our
Mm-hmm.
divine birthright. So, yeah,
It is our birthright.
yes.
Okay, girls, so what things do you do for yourself, for your own happiness?
Yeah. So for myself, if I showed you my Google Calendar, you would probably think I was a maniac. But I've got like these pink appointments that are for self care. And so when I am planning out my week, I go in each week to make sure I see plenty of pink. So whether that be, going to a class at the gym or hanging out with friends or making sure that I am sticking to my bedtime routine, definitely making sure there's lots of pink calendar invites so that I make sure that it actually happens. So, you can start with making a list of the things that make you happy and just carving out your calendar and making sure you're doing one of those things every day, whether it's 15 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes, just making sure you carve out some type of time for something that makes you happy. So, yeah.
I remember coming to your house and seeing your workstation and your
Yeah.
setup and seeing your whiteboard. I was so impressed.
Yes, yes, yes. Writing is like, it's almost like a form of therapy for me. It gets things out of my head and onto a paper or a whiteboard. And I love whiteboards because you walk past them all the time. Whether you're reading it or not, it's in your subconscious. So, if it's a to do list or things that you don't want just hanging around in your brain, definitely suggest whiteboards. I even got like a chalkboard that I've painted and that I write on as well. So getting all of those things out of your head, freeing up some head space and getting them on a paper, whiteboards, or whatever that is for you. So definitely another one of my life hacks.
Yes, writing. And that's how we met initially. It makes me think of Erica Badu. She
Yeah.
says, get a real pen
Yes. And
and
what
write
else?
it
And
down.
paper. Yes.
Hmm. And
Yes.
watch shit happen.
Yes. That is so true. Yeah.
Beautiful girl. So the color coding, having things outside,
Yes.
visuals, and I think the physical experience of writing. There's so much
Mhm.
magic of having your hand move and getting
Yes.
your thoughts out of you. If everything is inside,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it's a mess.
Yeah, there's just chaos. There's always, what did I forget? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to be? And I know some people don't like calendars and writing things down, but you have to figure out what works best for you and how to get it out of your head. Because, like you said, if it's just all in your head, there's just so much chaos going on. And, yeah,
We don't need that.
no, we're one person. Like, come on, be nice to yourself. Don't leave things in your head, get them out. So, yeah.
Get them out. Yes, girl. Um, I absolutely love that. And I think that really helps with the efficiency.
Yes.
And I think it helps people identify what are their real strengths.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's one thing too. And as you kind of bring that up, that's a definite starting point with like figuring out what you're doing career wise. A lot of people, make these memes and they're funny, while you're watching the meme, but oh, I got to go to work. I hate it here and all these things. But why would you do yourself like that? Why wouldn't you take a step back, see where your skills are, find a career that aligns with your skills so that you can be happy in the work that you do, working and doing things that light them up.
Yeah, things that light you up and evaluating yourself,
Yes.
right? You're allowed to change, you're
Yeah.
allowed to pivot.
Yes. And then if you're afraid to or don't know where to start, it's so important to have those friend circles of people that will be authentic with you. And if you have an idea, or if you're like, hey, where do you think, my skills are? What do you think I should, what do you think I should be doing with my time? Where do you think I would be good at? Those friend circles will definitely kind of help you evaluate and just, be honest with yourself and see where it is that your skills are.
Yeah, so often we can't see ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a safe space and
Yes.
a solid community that we
Mhm.
trust
Yeah,
to reflect those things back to us.
exactly. Yeah. Those
Mm.
things are so important. So, yeah.
I love that, girl. And I think when we think about career, it can feel like a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
right? Okay, I want to provide, I
Yeah.
have children. You know, as the mother, we're often, the home is our domain.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the peace and honestly, like efficiency and organization
Yeah.
depends on us.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
how can we curate our life, curate our friend circles,
Hmm.
curate the tools and the teachers and the people that we consume. It's not just about what you're eating.
Uh-huh.
It's about curating your life so that you can have it all. You're like, why would you do yourself like that?
Right.
Why
Right.
would you do that to yourself? You have freedom, you have choices.
Yeah. If you love yourself and that if you're serious about your happiness, and I know some of us can get in funks where we're just like not wanting to move or not wanting to have like the ambition or can have the ambition in the current moment, but you got to start somewhere, and so it might take you a year or a year or up to 5 years to find out what you're supposed to be doing professionally or business wise, but you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start plugging yourself in the community events. You've got to start, like you said, the foundational piece with decluttering your home. All of those things, you have to start somewhere. And eventually that closet will be decluttered, or eventually you'll have the soul circle or the community circle that you're needing to support you in those spaces that allow you to grow, connect you with people in the community, connect you with jobs that are open, and just kind of help you find your way. So it's just like going to the gym. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in one day. It might take 2 years, but be patient with yourself. Start somewhere and identify that starting point and those milestones that'll get you to the ultimate goal.
Be patient with
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the greatest things that you've taught me is to appreciate the seasons.
Yes. Yes, because there's magic in each season, right? As we speak about the seasons, we're in the dead of winter right now. It is freezing cold here in St. Louis. We've got snow, we've got ice now. None of this stuff is cleared, but just sitting in the stillness and seeing what that means. So I love the fact that I get to slow down a little bit right now. No big events right now, no appointments every weekend. I get to sit still, recalibrate, refocus my energy, make sure that my service is aligned with where I am right now. So, like you said, just really appreciate each season for what it gives. So, yes.
Yes, girl. When did you recognize that moving with the seasons
Yes.
and not against them
Uh-huh.
is the way forward?
Yeah, so as you know, I am a gardener as well. And that's one of the things that really got me through the pandemic. And so just really hot diving into what seeds were supposed to be planted at what time, what the soil is doing, even right now in the winter, it's resting and it's strengthening itself. So really diving into Mother Nature and seeing like what seeds meant, what the soil really meant, what the sun really meant, Christmas and the rising of the sun and Easter and all of those things, what that really means for the sun and all those things. It really opened my eyes up. And like they said, seeds grow in the soil. And I looked at it like, we're seeds. What do we do in the soil that we're in or where we thrive at? And so, really, just comparing that to real life scenarios and just like, wow. So, if the winter, if the ground is doing this in the winter, what am I supposed to be doing in the winter? Or if spring and the real new year is around springtime, how am I supposed to realign my goals and my energy? And then the summertime, oh, you're right, I do feel more energized. What am I supposed to be doing right now? The fall, things are falling away. We're cutting things off that don't work. So just really kind of connecting my gardening and then my real life industrial organizational psychology methodologies, it made perfect sense. So that is what really got me into wow, this is really what it means to connect with nature. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not so different, you and
Yes.
I.
Yes. So that was a really eye-opening time for me, really diving into gardening and just applying those techniques to real life.
I like what you said about the winter season. So many folks resist the cold,
Mhm.
they feel constricted, maybe
Yeah.
they get cabin fever.
Yes.
But when you look outside, you talked
Mhm.
about the soil is strengthening itself.
Yes. Yes.
There's
It
power in the stillness.
yes, there is. So,
And
and just recalibrating, all of those things are going on in nature right now. Even though we can't see it, even though the trees are bare, there's still some work going on the foundational level. And just one more thing, about winter. I know a lot of people suffer from seasonal depression. I tend to be one of those people. And so this year I chose to do something different by bringing in the year with 75 soft, not 75 hard. But yeah, a softer approach to recalibrating, connecting with discipline, and also kind of setting some routine around self care goals and working out. So, not like new year, new me type thing, but discipline. So, a lot of us talk about motivation and I just need some motivation to go to the gym. No, you need discipline. You can't do anything without the discipline. So that is what I am really trying to cultivate during the winter right now is discipline. And whether that be to sit my ass down and watch a movie or to get up and exercise so that I don't slip into any type of depression right now or anything that, comes from not moving your body and being intentional with movement. So yeah, definitely discipline right now is kind of my key word for the winter.
that's beautiful, girl. And I think when a lot of folks hear the word discipline, they're instantly like, ew.
Constricted. Yeah, no, I don't want now. I like outside of the box. But how can you be motivated without that discipline? If you're not disciplined in going to the gym or whatever, planting the seed or being consistent with something, how can you see results? You're just starting all over again every time you start that task. So, yeah.
Yes, and discipline can look different, right? Some people love 75 hard. They swear by
Yes.
it. They swear by it. But this new movement of the soft girl life,
Yes.
bringing more yin energy,
Mhm.
bringing more softness, stillness, the 75 soft is also a discipline.
Yes.
Sitting on the couch watching a movie with your babies and like
Mhm.
completing the movie
Yes.
without feeling guilty about it,
Exactly.
without shaming yourself, thinking you
Yes.
need to be Yang Nation, machismo mommy, like
Exactly.
take it down a notch because
Yeah.
that discipline will also open up your creativity too.
Exactly, exactly. So making sure home is in order first before we start like all climbing all these mountains. We have to make sure that home is okay. Our children are taken care of, our spouses, whoever, dogs, cats, making sure that home is taken care of first before we start knocking out these goals because you need a sanctuary to come back to, right? You need somewhere to be
Ooh.
mindful. You can't build any of this stuff if that place that you call home isn't in good order. So that's a whole nother podcast.
It is the sanctuary. And this is coming from an Aries, by the way.
Yes.
Right? So the Aries is like the go-getter. I'm
Uh-huh.
first out here like Muhammad Ali energy, but this Aries has learned to appreciate the
Yes.
downtime and to
Mhm.
know that, hey, maybe I need to be kind of hard on myself
Mhm.
about resting and
Yes.
receiving.
That is so good, Anna. So, yeah, that's one reason I love astrology so much because it points out not only our strengths, but also our weaknesses and areas that we can improve our lives. So, that was one of my things is just to go out saving the world. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I have kids at home that need my time too. So, okay, it's great to be a big brother and sister, but like, what does that look like to really just cultivate what I already have and dive into and make make sure that I am intentional with the friends that I already have, the family that I already have. And then if I've got extra space and I'm overflowing, then I can fill in those spaces. But that was definitely a fault of mine, going out, saving the world, putting out fires, working overtime, coming home tired. And then I just had an epiphany, especially, transparency piece. My daughter, she's 20 now, and I hope that our relationship can be savage one day. But unfortunately, I was a young parent and I didn't, understand what it meant to be still and cultivate and take care of home. But now I do, and we grow from those points. But yeah, taking care of home first and setting the tone for your sanctuary so that you can be in those spaces and you can live in your gifts, and so that you can help those people that need you to walk into your gifts, because our gifts are directly related or associated with other people's purpose. So, yeah.
Ooh, our gifts are directly related to other people's purpose.
Yes. Yeah. So you talk about us being connected, you talk about Mother Nature, we talk about all the things that go on in the ecosystem. We're a big ecosystem too, and we need each other. And so when we're slacking, either we strike the iron while it's hot, or our gifts and talents, somebody else will walk into that when we were supposed to be. So just striking that iron while it's hot and being who you're supposed to be, so that, your calling can bless the next person.
Being who you're supposed to be, maybe stepping out of this role, this like
Mhm.
savior, martyr,
Yes.
I'm gonna wear this badge of honor of how much
Yes.
shit I can carry and
Uh-huh.
handle. When you
Yes.
step out of there and maybe you're like, you know what, maybe I'm actually supposed to be helping folks delegate.
Yes. Yes. Popping your shit, as they say. As they say, popping your shit. And so that also goes into your career. If you're not advocating for yourself, if you're not keeping a list of the things you've accomplished in the company, and you show up for your evaluation and you want more money, come on, give me something to work with. So advocating for yourself and popping your shit in your business, coming out of the hiding. I was hiding in my business for a while, like, I'm just a virtual assistant, I'll just do the background work. No, I'm your business coach. I'm going to come in here, tell you what you're doing wrong and how we can create efficiency. I'm going to be the bulldog for you. Sorry that you didn't ask for your money, but I'm going to ask for your money, for these people that owe you and all those things. So step aside, let me advocate for you until we can get you up to that point. But yeah, coming in and just popping your shit in every area of life, quote unquote.
Every area.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about a time when you really popped your shit.
A time when I really popped my shit. Okay, I'm gonna say, like, in my 9 to 5, I am an HR professional now. But while I was in school, I started off as an executive administrative assistant, and so I started identifying all these weak points in the company and how I could help with HR things and clean up processes, and how I could actually start helping with the hiring process and even evaluating what our current employees were doing, and kind of making sure that their skills and talents aligned with what they were doing, and kind of making sure that I was advocating for our employees. And so when I finally got my master's in industrial organizational psychology, keeping that list of those things that I had been doing over the year, I was able to go to my manager and say, hey, I am ready for a new role. I am ready for the responsibilities that I've already been doing to kind of match my job title. And can you give me a raise? Pretty much, can I have a promotion? I think I am worthy of a promotion. I've been doing all these things. So, can we move towards changing my job title and giving me a promotion? And the answer was yes. And so, yeah, got that promotion, and your girl Is really, really walking into, like I say, I get paid for my personality now. So it feels good to be in a space where I'm getting paid for my talents and not doing, I love the administrative stuff. I geek out on the numbers and the mundane tasks because I get to listen to podcasts and things like that. But really stepping into my voice, using my power and getting paid for my personality now. So that's what I want everybody to do. What is your personality like? What do people describe you as? Get paid for your personality. That's where the money is. That's where the happiness is. That's where the growth is. So, yeah, that's a time that I popped it off.
Popped it off. Girl, I love how you talk about writing a list of your accomplishments,
Yes.
your
Yes.
receipts.
Yes. Receipts. How does anybody know what you've done if you don't have a receipt for it? And you're hiding and oh, I just did that task and I just picked up that skill and you're not even keeping account of it. And one thing you said, maybe start doing those end of the year reviews where you're keeping track of what you've done over the year because sometimes we forget too. So keeping track and even at the end of the month, not waiting until the end of the year, looking at the things that you've done in January or February. And did you do like the year capsule for Instagram?
It did, yes.
Yes. Didn't that make you happy though? Like
Girl.
seeing all the things you've done. But when I did mine, it was just like, oh my God, what have I done? Where are the pictures? And so I said, instead of doing that at the end of the year, at the end of each month, I'm going to give myself a little treat by reflecting, on what happened this month.
Ooh. Yes. And I think this brings up a couple of things. Number one, it's honoring yourself and your worth,
Yes.
keeping track of yourself and your accomplishments, not
Yes.
waiting until the end of the year necessarily,
Right.
doing it more often.
Hmm.
And then number two, if you do come with this list
Yeah.
and people don't respect it,
Mhm.
value it, acknowledge it, then you're in the wrong place.
You are in the wrong place. And don't be scared to disengage, whether that be, it's another quote I saw somebody post. Don't be so familiar with a familiar hell that you're scared to step into an unfamiliar heaven. So sometimes we get so comfortable and feel like, oh, I need this client or I need this job. Just start venturing off. Don't be afraid to step into another career or a position that may align with your needs right now, your skills or your talents. Don't be afraid to cut that client off just because you don't know who's going to replace that income or pay that bill. Remember, you came into this earth or out of your mother's womb by yourself. The job that you might have or that client that you might be afraid of cutting loose, you didn't have them probably about 5, 10 years ago and you were fine. And look where you are now. So don't be afraid of stepping out just because something may seem unfamiliar or because there's fear based around change.
Fear around change and
Yeah.
advocacy, throat
Yes.
chakra.
Yes, that part.
Girl, the familiar hell. People talk about misery loves company.
I'm just saying.
A lot of people would rather just be comfortable, uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just to
You're
step into that next level or connect with where they know they're supposed to go. So as we embark up on Love Day and Valentine's in February, we're going to see all the galentines, all the couples, and all those things. But if we just take a moment to reflect on how we're loving ourselves through our daily routine or however we spend a bulk of our time in our jobs or our businesses, and just looking at like how are we loving on ourselves in those spaces, I think that'll be a really good way to kind of, or a theme for the month to kind of focus and recalibrate on what that means to love ourselves.
Yes. Yes. Not being afraid of the numbers. Like
Yeah,
how would you quantify your self-care?
yeah,
Are you
really.
are you ranking high?
Yeah,
Low.
exactly. And so we teach other people how to love us as well. So if we're not loving ourselves, or if we're not treating ourselves right, or if we're not conscious of what we're putting in our mouths or in our body, or how we're treating our bodies, that's a whole nother podcast. But how we're using our time and how we're protecting our time, we'll stay here right now. We teach other people not to respect our time as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So beautiful, girl. Yeah, don't be afraid to look in the mirror. Don't be afraid to be honest, whether it's your skills or the places that are opportunities.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only an L if you're not learning.
That's it. And like you said, be a forever student. Be forever learning something or mastering something. That's always going to keep your brain fresh. And like they say, keep you, lower the chances of Alzheimer's and things like that. Use your brain. Like,
Use your
use your
brain.
brain. That's it. It's there for a reason. Keep it strong. Keep it healthy. Our brain wants to be used.
It does, yeah. And using your brain in tandem, in partnership with the heart to
Yes.
ground you.
Yes. That's good, Anna.
Girl, this is beautiful. What a wealth of information.
Thank you. I feel like I said a whole lot. So hopefully it all comes together with, aligning with the seasons, also making sure that our homes are in order so that we can build on the things that will bring more money in and give us the opportunity to align with our skills and pop our shit and all those things. So just bringing that kind of full circle, everything that we do kind of touches on building that foundation to be able to branch out.
Yes, girl. Okay, and as we get ready to close here, final thoughts, a final insight or a quote.
Yeah. So, a quote. I'm trying to think. So, just final takeaway. Just taking an inventory of your time. It might take a little bit to get that list out, but just really looking at your calendar, seeing how you're spending the bulk of your time, and making sure that you're happy in that space. And if you're not happy in that space, identifying what obstacles or what issues are keeping you from being happy in that space. So, identifying that and creating some type of action plan to make sure that you can become happy, or you have the skills to become happy, or you've got the tools. There's so many tools out here, podcasts, books. I always say therapy, just making sure that you get the resources that you need to live your happiest, best life, while we're out here making money. So yeah.
Yes, live your best life.
Yeah, it's waiting for you. It's here for us and we deserve it. So yeah.
We do. We do. Oh, thank you so much, Arion.
Welcome. This was good.
It was really good. Okay, how can folks keep in touch with you?
Yeah, so follow me on Instagram at Another Me LLC. I name my business that because I come into businesses and kind of duplicate my clients and become another version of themselves so that they can be two places in one time. But yeah, Another Me LLC. On Instagram, and then my website if you're interested in booking a call with me to kind of discover where you want to be career wise, or ways to kind of clean up your business and making sure that you're happy in that space as well. So anothermellc.com.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Your history and experience is extensive, serving people, serving organizations, and really the higher good.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. If you're looking for the most ethical, powerful, and magical fucking aromatherapy on the planet, so you can be a better bitch and just like totally fucking taken care of, I got the shit for you. I created this skincare line as an extension of my high school senior project. All natural aromatherapy experience, because that's what we did back in the day on our priestess bad bitch, queen shit. We used oils, the purest fucking oils that not only penetrated your skin, it anointed you. Waking up first thing in the morning, clearing yourself between meetings, before you pick up your kids, that's the kind of shit I'm on. Almost like if you were saging, but you don't need a lighter. So let me introduce you guys. These make beautiful gifts. A holiday gift, for a Valentine's gift, or a galentine for your clients. A sister circle, somebody's birthday coming up. I also have an affiliate program. So if you want to sign up and you want to be a brand ambassador for Align with Anna, you get paid. To learn more about that, please go to alignwithanna.com/get paid and let's grow together. You can also shop wholesale, Etsy, and Shopify. As a mom, as someone who really values her self-care and her routine, I use all of these daily, and it's gonna come in a sweet little box. I will put some beautiful tissue in there. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Shop today.